Hello, Frank, Shane, Reddy, Chris. What I want to try to do, I heard Willie a while ago, and a lot of the times that's how it starts out. It goes from Willie to other things going on. And then it usually ends with the owls, so I don't know. Kind kind of been a pattern here recently. But what I'm interested in is the audio. I don't know why the audio kept cutting in and out last night. But it did, and we missed a lot, I think, because of that. And I don't know if it's because I had the phone so far away and it was running off the Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi signal wasn't as good. But I do need to try to figure this out, or if it's this phone. I bought this phone and I've been very unhappy with it. It's the same type of phone that I had the last time, but this one's horrible. And don't want to charge good. And I mean, I've been having issues with the Wi-Fi, Messenger, all kinds of stuff. It's just been weird. And as you can hear, the creek is up and the bugs are in full force. We must have had a storm here today. It didn't rain where I was today in West Virginia, but there's branches in the yard and everything else. So we must have had a pretty good storm. The creek's pretty far up. So I can't have my volume on right now, or I guess I could put the phone around the front of the house. But has the volume cut out any at all, like it was doing last night? If anybody's in here that didn't get to listen to the video last night, it was plumb crazy. We had boogers up there tearing the tearing the trees down. And I have a theory, and there's no way to prove this. I was hoping to find tracks whenever I went up there today, but I didn't find anything. No tracks anyway. I found all kinds of trees, and I kind of think that there was juveniles up there. I doubt you all be able to see this, but I'm gonna try and show you how cloudy it is. Yeah, you can't see nothing tonight. But last night I could see, I can kind of still see it. It was in the evening and I saw trees swishing back and forth. And I'm thinking maybe there were some little ones up in the trees and maybe they was breaking over branches up there because several branches were broken. But there's several new things up there, and I know it wasn't a young'un that picked up that log. That log has to weigh at least, at the very minimum. I mean, that's an oak. That's a big white oak, and it I don't know, it's probably 5-6 foot long. So I don't know, do the math. At least 200 pounds, I would figure. But the stupid audio cut out, and Sissy's went and stamped a bunch of it, and I really appreciate that. I just now got a chance to go back and go through her stamps, and there's a creepy, like a scream type deal. Can't tell if it's a, sounds almost like a panther or something, but not really. Kind of like a wah type deal. But yeah, last night I could see it. I can kind of see it, but it's cloudy and there's not much light from the moon or stars tonight, and I can't see up through there. But last night I walked out to where I'm about at now, and I can kind of see the point and the skyline in the back, and you could just see the trees whipping back and forth. should have thought and got my FLIR. I might have been able to see it through there. I kind of doubt it. Maybe if they was in the treetops, I could have seen it. I didn't even think about doing that. Yeah, and go back to the video from last night and listen to him. Sissy does a great job, and I really, really appreciate it of going through it and stamping, getting all the time stamps and posting. And I try to pin her post so others can see it. So we owe her a big thank you. She does a great job at doing that. But I wanted to go up there and see the aftermath. However, whenever I got out my portal, there's some kind of electronical cross or something, like you get out of the portal and your camera flips upside. I don't understand the technology of it. It's all alien to me. Yeah, I mean, if you watch the video from today, then you go back. I mean, this top porch up here, I have to excuse the mess. I'm gonna pick a bunch of stuff up in the morning. But I used to sit up here like a couple years ago to listen. This is before I even started on YouTube and everything. And one summer night, about like it is now, I was sitting out there and I heard a tree just crack, crack, crunch, fell. A couple minutes later, another one done it. A couple minutes later, another one done it. And that's when they built that human observation post up there. And the trees are still there that's, that fell. And there's one up close to the fence line, one closer. But then that last one they did, they've built onto it since then. So I don't know. I got here about an hour before dusk and fed all the critters. I've been running around like a chicken with its head cut off, trying to get one thing done. And I've got a mess. Now I've got a mess. Still don't have my tile down. But I had the chicken pen sitting right here in the driveway and had the chickens out in it. And they wasn't even calling for a rain. Well, they was, but this came in as like a freak storm, like the perfect storm. And it poured. I mean, if I would have dumped buckets out, it wouldn't have been so hard. I had to take these things and cover up the chickens, and then it kept raining harder and harder and harder, and finally I was like, man, I've got to get these dudes inside. I mean, there's a flood coming through here. So I got out there and got drenched and all that good stuff. As soon as I got the chickens in, it quit raining, of course. What are you after? Are you scared? There went that cat noise again. You might want to go back and listen to that. And by cat noise, I mean like a panther. Like, wow. Yeah, y'all better get over here. Hello? Yeah, all kinds of critters next year. Hopefully we'll get maybe some goats, and I'm going to get a horse. But I want to have everything ready first. I'll do these chickens, which I've been threatening to do chickens for the past couple of years. But man, there's always something going on here, and I'm overwhelmed. I need a workforce of 100 people to work for free for about a year. But I want good workers. Anybody know where I can find that at? Maybe put it on Craigslist or something. I don't know. I'll give them eggs. Just probably. I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna have to do my research on goats. I would really like to get some that I could get their milk from. I've never made cheese before, but man, I love goat cheese. Oh, Tim, ain't seen you in a while. So I don't know. I heard Willie a while ago and just now. A weird noise. I don't know if anything's going to happen tonight or not. I went up earlier and moved the chicks to a different stall because the stall I had them in are going to be for my egg layers because I can actually get into it easier to get the eggs. However, they say keep them cooped up for a couple of weeks and then let them free range. So that's the plan. We'll see how it goes. I've had the door of the coop wide open for the past couple of days, and they will not come out. If they come out, they don't go a foot from the coop. So I don't know. I figured they would come out and start eating bugs and stuff. I can put them out in the garden, man, and they do a good job of finding bugs. Yeah, I've heard of them goats. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look it up, check it out. I definitely want to get a horse or a couple horses. That way I can go out and get some of that good old Patterson Gilman footage from horseback. I tried it before, but broke my camera. It didn't go so good. I've never tried to make cheese. I mean, I'm all for making cheese though. However, like I've said before, and I've heard this from a couple people, boogers enjoy them some goat. I mean, not so much the meat, but like the organs and stuff. I guess it's kind of like deer. And I had the neighbor that raised goats, and he right on the where I was today, that fence line. He put that fence line up for the goats, and he would have goats come up missing all the time, or find them gutted. Yeah, I've heard that, Ronnie. And there's a guy that's got donkeys down here at the end of my holler. He's got all kinds. He's got them weird looking. I don't know what the cows are called, but you see them over in like Africa all the time. The little funky looking cows. They're not really beef cows. They're odd looking cows, but he's got them too. Yeah, I'm gonna check it out. I want to get a better water system up here too. I really don't want to go city water, but I do need to get a new water pump and all that. The water I have now, I won't even drink it. It smells like somebody farted in it. And I just do my laundry, and it kind of, I can't have like white socks or shirts or anything because it stains them. It's got that old sulfur smell to it, and it sucks. But the hand well out there is good, so I'm thinking about running the line out to it and using it because I don't use that much water. I could use the other one for ever got a wild hair and wanted to wash my truck or something. Maybe wash this porch. I'd love to wash this porch off. I got to pack buckets of water to it now. But I gotta get a whole new system. That's probably what I ought to do. First off, I mean, it would make it a lot easier. I gotta pack water to mix my tile mortar and all that mess. And it's just aggravating. I got a lot of tiki horses, bugs are back. I've got a filtration system in there, but it just, I think the bladder's out or something. It's got a lot of iron in this water too, and it rusts everything. I don't know. I want to start from scratch. Now the old house that was up there, they got the water out of that well, and that water in that well right now it's great. So how's the sound? Has the sound cut off like it was doing last night? Because that was really aggravating. I don't know if it was where I had the phone too far away from the Wi-Fi, or maybe some kind of electronic interference from the boogers. I don't know. It's not cutting out then. That's cool. Like I said, there's not much going on tonight. Willie came through a while ago, but that's about it. It's been a rough summer, right? I'm tired of it. I'm ready for fall. I'm actually looking forward to cool weather and cutting firewood. Give me something to do other than work on the barn in this house. Howdy, howdy. Yeah, oh, it's so bad. Humidity was 100% today, and it was 95 degrees. And the real crappy part, usually this time of the year is dry around here. It's the dog days, and the creek dries up to almost nothing. I mean, a few puddles here and there. That's one reason I built that dam down there. But not this year. Didn't do it last year either. Yeah, I like cutting wood too. I've got a couple of stories about cutting wood. I've actually been up there, and this is right after they got done logging. They pulled the logs and cut the butts off of them, and would pull some of them down. You know, that was close to where they was loading the truck, and they had the big limbs and the tops out of them, the parts they didn't use. Yeah, it's hot. But anyway, while down there cutting them up, I had stuff thrown at me. I actually did a couple steel cams, and you could see a couple rocks in them coming at me while I'm cutting firewood. This weekend, bow season started, but there's no way I'd go out and bow hunt in this weather. You'd probably die of exhaustion trying to pull a deer out. The meat would be spoiled before you got to the house. It's so hot. That's all we get is rain here. Rain, rain, rain. It stays a muddy mess. Where's Houston at? I haven't seen him in a while. I guess he's chilling out somewhere while he's off of work. No, Darla, I'm basically just doing this one to check the sound, because the sound was messed up. I don't know why. I think it's a Wi-Fi issue. I guess if I ever get my smokehouse built out there, I could run power out to it and run my Wi-Fi out to the smokehouse and put us closer to the woods. Stream from the smokehouse. Booger got him. It's horrible. I've got my kindling pile started anyway. So rebuilding chicken coops. Oh. Yeah, the house was pretty good. Starting out last night. Which I need to go back and listen to them again. I haven't listened to all of it. I want to hear some of the timestamps. I want to hear that scream again. But did anything sound funny that got the house started last night? Sometimes you'll hear like an odd howl, and that gets like the coyotes going. Which I would assume right now, this time of the year, boogers would be starting to hunt again, and plus eating. The mushrooms are coming into season. It won't be long. Nuts will be coming into season. Certain berries are in season right now. Different types of fruits, muscadines, all that. So they might have been hunting they might have been hunting the coyotes. I'm in eastern Kentucky. I think they started howling at the first of the video. There went a thump. Yeah, and I appreciate it, Sissy. Lord knows if it was up to me, it'd never get done. Always have a mess going on around here. And then old dummy goes and gets a bunch of chickens. A lot more work than I figured it would be. I guess once I get a mama hen around here, it won't be too bad. It sucks being a mama hen. Yeah, going back through it, I guess you do. I don't think they're around all the time. I think they've been around quite often here lately, it seems like. And I think it's just where they don't have to move as much because of the food supply. Like I said, there's different mushrooms out and different types of tree fruits and nuts are getting ready to come in. I notice we're gonna have a lot of walnuts this year. The acorns are kind of spotty, but there's plenty of them. But yeah, I don't think they're like right here, right around the house all the time. I should say. I think they roam. They got their little circuit they do. I kind of stumbled onto last year. It seemed like they would always follow like the same way and always go the same direction. It's kind of weird. I could hear them coming in, and then got to where I just about could predict when they would be here. But this year, I don't know, it seems off. Maybe it's the weather, or it's pretty neat how, like on one of Snow White's videos, they left her some walnuts there. So I think they store their food too. I found like a handful of berries before back in some rock cliffs that, like on a ledge, that I don't think a squirrel or anything would do that, or a chipmunk. I don't think they migrate like a When I think of migration, I think of like the herds over in Africa or, things like that. I think they just do like a big circuit. I don't want to call it a circle or a square or anything like that. I think they have a territory that they patrol, and they will go around and have certain locations that the main family group will stay at, or where they keep the kids around. And that's what I think I'm mostly messing with here is the youngsters when they're in my area, like I guess the teenagers or whatever. They'll come around here and mess with me, and there might be a big one or something comes along with them. I don't know. Seems like there's usually either two or three around here. But I don't think they migrate. Like, I don't think they go from here to Florida or something like that. I think each clan's got a territory and they kind of stick to their territory. Yeah, I mean, and we had talked about that a lot before about them storing it. And like that lemon smell I smelled that time. I mean, it was like somebody stuck a lemon underneath my nose. I think they had got them berries off the bushes and had been eating them, or maybe, I don't, rubbing them on them. I don't know. How big are they? Like the ones I seen was not ginormous or anything, but I mean, taller than me. It's kind of lean looking. He was on all fours going across the trail. I seen one ran across the porch right where the phone's sitting right now, and I was sitting inside. And at the time, I had my chair facing this big window behind me, and it was pretty big because I thought that thing was a cow whenever it went across the porch. And then I thought I seen another big one up where the human observation post is. And I just kind of glimpsed at it pulling out of the driveway going to work one day. And I stopped and backed up and it was gone. There's a stump there and like a structure, but I seen a big form center up there, but it was gone. So I haven't really had a good sighting. I mean, it's unbelievable how quick these creatures are. I mean, it is unreal how quick they are. They're like lightning. Yeah, I mean, I think they stay around in the area, but it's like a big area. I think they have to have a big area just because of the size of them. And if they're in a clan, that's a lot of food. Imagine feeding a team of football players or something. It's probably about like that. So they got to constantly be on the move, and they might sit up for 3 days to a week or whatever, and consume what's in the area. Then they got to move on to if you've been hunting, you can go to an area and then you get your scent in there. Then deer start getting spooked, and they don't show up like they did whenever you first went into that area. So you have to have a few different hunting spots. I think it's the same way with those guys. They have to, if they stayed in one spot, if they stayed, say, in 5 acres or 200 acres, it wouldn't be long before they would have everything in that area eat. So, I think their areas are maybe 25 square miles, something, something big like that. Maybe bigger. I guess it depends on, like, at Snow White's place. Now, her area has a lot more food, and it really surprised me. Her area has a lot more food because they got more cornfields and cattle, and deer were everywhere. And there's a lot of people, but there's also plenty of hiding places. It's like this, but a lot of it was cleared off and had cornfields, and they had more of the rolling hills, but they had pretty deep hollers and plenty of places for them fellers to hide. So I think they're actually at her place more than they are here, except for here recently, the last couple of weeks. I don't know, they just seems like they've been here a lot longer. And I think it's just where there's more food right now for them. And maybe it's the heat. You know, nobody likes to go out 95 degrees and 100% humidity. Imagine wearing a fur coat in that mess. Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's plenty of corn. They grow a lot of corn up there where she was at, and you know that's good. And then you got to think of the other critters that come in to eat on the crops. You know, you got your wild deer, or hogs, or rats, or whatever. That's the whole food chain deal. Oh, catfish. You don't see many big farms around here anymore. Now there is a couple of guys that's buying up a lot of land, and they're both of them's raising cattle and stuff. They bought up quite a bunch of land up in here, which is good because a lot of the land they're buying out has been handed down through generations, and there's people in here now that's they're probably not the best citizens. Let them move on into town or something. Draw their checks from there. You just get there's been some stories come out of here, and people's stuff being messed with. That's why I started keeping big dogs and putting cameras up and all that. Yeah, I think they would definitely take advantage of getting in the lake or getting in. There's several cattle ponds around here that's hidden that they could get in and cool off. I would. If I was a booger, I'd lay out in a creek or something. I mean, there's spring heads everywhere around here and cattle ponds that people haven't been to in years. Yeah, it's like that here too. I mean, like further north you go, the more relaxed they are. Like down in Texas where Cece is at, Houston Bigfoot's at, them boogers get down right ornery. I mean, they've kind of got ornery here before, around here, but I think they give plenty of warning to get people out of the way here. You know, whether it be push a tree down or whatever, or I've heard growls or sticks whizzing by my head and hit my truck. They give plenty of warning. Yeah, these guys were maybe they might have got scared off by the boogers. They would go around and strip slippery elms and sell the roots and stuff. And I mean, they just wouldn't. They're the type of folks that would go and rather than take a pile of trash to the dump or burn it or something like that, they would just go dump it up a holler. I mean, just that type of folks. You can tell if you get too close to them. I mean, I don't ignore the warnings. When it's time to back off, you back off. I mean, maybe if I had a platoon or something behind me, but yeah, they let you know if you're too close. I mean, especially last year, I'd go up Stinky Holler, and the rocks get flying around, and the trees getting shoved down, and stuff like that. And yeah, it's time to, okay, I'm going another way. But I think, what is it, baby? If they wanted to kill me, hit me with a rock or something, they could very easily do it. I think they use rocks for hunting to kill the prey or stun it or something. I mean, and I found evidence of that. Like a fresh rock laying in the middle of the trail that has no business being there. Why? I mean, deer don't pack rocks around. Something put the rock there. To be honest, I mean, most people around here, they don't, other than four-wheeler trails, I mean, they'll go out riding four-wheelers, but you don't see too many people just walking through the woods. not like you used to. I mean, we still got a few ginseng hunters around, I suppose, or mushroom hunters or something like that. But I mean, you don't see it as much as you used to. Matter of fact, all the walking around I do in the woods, I've only come across a couple of people, and they've been on four-wheelers, and I've been close to a path or a highly traveled four-wheeling trail. Oh, Jeremy. I think this fall and this winter, I'm going to concentrate more on looking back in some of these cracks and crevices. I tell you, one place I really want to look is up there where I found that buzzard nest back in that with the rocks stacked up. There has to be a reason those rocks are stacked there. And I mean, it could have been a human that done that. But, I found places before that just has that stink to it and a bunch of deer hair underneath of it. And it could have been, somebody shot a deer and it went there and died or whatever. And scavengers came and got the carcass. But, I mean, there was a lot of deer hair there. I don't know, maybe it was up Stinky Holler. And I caught Stinky Holler for a reason. I've smelled that funky smell up there before a few times. Hello, Patricia. That sounds more like devolving than evolving. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, the sticks whizzing by your head, stuff like that, well, you get out of there pretty quick. Pretty, pretty intense. But you're alive, and you want to stay that way. But again, I think if they wanted to hit me, they could have took me out that night. No problem. That's actually the closest anything's ever been thrown at me, though. I mean, I was standing right there. Yeah, I think I'm devolving too. I think my feet are devolving. Man, they've been sore climbing around that barn, and I got the barn cleaned up pretty good though. I can almost get a tractor in that barn now. Burnt Ford truckloads of junk that was up in it, old rotten boards and doors and windows and all that mess. And stacked a bunch of lumber up in the rafters where I can get to it whenever I need it. Man, it looks pretty good. It's actually about ready for some horses or goats. I just gotta get my fence done now. There's been quite a few like ginseng hunters and fishermen around the lake, which isn't that far. The backwaters of that lake ain't but 4 miles as the crow flies from me. 4 or 5 miles, something like that. And over at where I put in at Rich Creek, that's maybe 10 miles, 8, 10 miles, something like that. And you can go on the BFRO website, and there's a few reports from there, from that lake. You're talking about on the side-by-side? I think that was just, I don't know. I don't think they was actually trying to hit me that night either. It kind of ricocheted off the post on my side-by-side and came in the side-by-side and hit my knee. Yeah, that was pretty close too. Still working hard. It never ends here. Roll Tide. I use that cheap brand laundry detergent, and I'm a Mountaineer fan. I don't like Tide. I guess they are kind of a cheap laundry detergent though. Yeah, they like watermelon. Fresh out of watermelons though. About out of everything except for peppers now. Well, the guy, I mean, they've got places on the fence. They push the fence down. I mean, if they want to if they want to get through there, they'll get through there. You know, most of them, I guess, probably just get right over it, no problem. But I don't know why they push them down. But the guy that raised the goats would always have to repair that where I had the siding at, that little fence line right there. He would always have to fix that. It could be for the little ones. That's what I figured. And that fence, the goat fence, it's not like a barbed wire, which they got barbed wire on it too. Then they run the goat fence on top of it, and you know that. I guess they could climb it easily, but I don't know. I guess to make it easier on them or something. Yeah, I think most of the boogers up in Ohio are about the same as they are here. Might be a bit of difference or something. Just kind of makes you wonder, like how far a male gets kicked out of the clan whenever it gets too old or whatever. How far they'll range out. And then you got inbreeding type deals. I mean, you know, you got different ones ranging here or there. Maybe a male comes and steals a female out of a clan or whatever. Who knows? Roll Tide. Didn't Alabama's coach get suspended or something? Haven't kept up with it at all this year. I guess it's just starting. Oh, they played Louisville. Oh, wow, Louisville. Ribbons Bend. I've never heard of that. Ohio State, they always get suspended. I don't like Ohio State. I mean, at all. Dang. Hobbs Bend. I don't know where that is either. Oh, West Virginia Dominator. I was wanting to watch that game too. Forgot all about it. Ugh. Got busy. Is Frank in here? Frank, are you hiding? Maybe he ain't in here and we can talk about him. See, I've never seen a three-toed. I think it's the heat. I mean, honestly, I think it's the heat is why they're so cranky. Anyway, I guess Frank ain't in here. If you watch it later, Frank got me this groovy hat. It says, I believe. Ain't a cool sticker. I need to put that on my truck. Morgan Traders. Yeah, Frank got that for me, a sticker. It's pretty cool of him. He got that statue up there. He needs to stop. Right. Yeah, the insects down there, that's probably bad too. But I mean, I think it's mostly the heat. Oh, I was looking at the farmer's almanac today, and we are supposed to have, and I'm excited about this, we were supposed to have a nice, cold, bad, cold, snowy winter. And I hope we have the dangest cold snap there is. Oh my. I think they liked watching those ducks the other day. I think a lot of the rock throwing and they hit the roots with the rocks or stuff like that. The male noise, I'd like to figure out what that is. But anyway, I think a lot of that's just them saying, "Hey, we're here." It used to be, man, they would do like the huff like that, and just like last night, tear the trees up right at ducks too, and they'd be right up there where the gift stump was, and I mean, just sounding crazy. But and whoops and knocks, they used to do that a lot. They don't hardly do that anymore. I'm not sure what that means. Now they throw rocks. What do you mean I need to listen to the one from last night? I listened to the timestamps. I haven't been home, sissy. Leave me alone. Went in and played with the family. Actually, we got more snow here last year than we thought. Well, no, I think they had a late spring snow that was real big up there. My brother lives up around Appleton. Well, I mean, they would come right up where the gifting stuff is and grunt like loud. I mean, scary loud. I I think they were more aggravated about the trees being cut. We had the timbering done. I think that's what really got them started here. And then they figured out I had dog food down here, and they really enjoyed some dog food. Man, they got me good on that. I've heard it. I mean, I still hear whoops and stuff, but it just seems like whenever it all first started, you would hear more. Now they seem to have moved on to different. You hear a lot of the owls, the crazy owls, chirps, and just stuff like that. I mean, there still is whoops, and I still hear knocks, but it just don't seem like it's as frequent. I, I do hear things far off, like just now. I just now heard something, and it just happens to be whenever a plane is going over. It sounds like they're up the holler now. I think they're kind of getting back to their little routine of going around their territories. You kitty cats are wild. Come here, gray cat. What them kitty cats doing? Huh? You won't bite your ear? The little baby booger cats is wild, ain't they? One of the first times I heard the owl calls right after a crazy, like a, I mean, it went on forever. Crazy, just crazy loud scream. And then it went hoo, hoo, and it didn't sound like an owl. I mean, it wasn't like that at all. It's just like hoo, hoo. And that was, which I think that was a big one. Because I found the track the next day. And I don't know, they got better on their calls. Yeah, Great Cat's been my buddy ever since I got him out of the trash can. I mean, you know, a lot of wild critters is covered with hair. A lot of mammals, except for maybe whales and dolphins and sea critters like that, and then naked cats. I mean, I guess they get through all right. Poor old kitty cat. Them old mean buggers. Is that why you hunt them so meanly? And you keep them run off, don't you? Yeah, you keep them run off. You sure are a vicious boogering cat. You leave my chickens alone, though. I tell you what I got last year during the winter. I got a heating blanket that lasted a total of one night. Well, this year at Tractor Supply they had these on sale. They're little pads. They're like 3 foot by 2 foot, I think is what it is. That you can plug in, and they're for chickens to keep chickens warm, like biddies. But I got it to put in Bailey's doghouse this year. So I put the heating blanket in there last year. The cats always crawl in the doghouse with her to keep warm. Booger man don't want no part of Gray Cat, do they? You're pretty mean, ain't you, Gray Cat? Now you got your buddies, training your buddies. They're over there doing something now, ain't they? What was that, Bailey? Quit. Bird. I've got a couple of boogering cats for sale. I ain't gonna sell them whenever I get them trained up real good and got too much time and money in them. I don't want y'all me, dude. I gotta stand up and walk around here. My joints lock up on me. Get away from the laptop and somebody messages me. Bailey. Dad was coming to get their cat tomorrow, so I gotta hide a key. What are you nuts doing? Oh, watch them. They're practicing tripping up a booger. Attack, kitty. Look there. Huh? Tell me. Good job. Good job, Black Cat. 10,000 would be a bargain. I mean, just to be honest with you. Not. There they go. You tell me they make some proper trained cats. They go out and they range pretty far. See what I'm saying? I got them, they're on point. And then I've got the home guard here. I mean, how can you put a price on them? Over here and see if anything's different. Did you scare them off? Huh? You scare them off, big guy? Flea bags. Well, the watermelon's still there, kinda. Did I move that rock out of that? I don't remember. It's grown hair. I think I threw that in the tree. Oh, look. There's the Care Bear. Where did I have him? How did you get down here, buddy? Oh, yeah, I had him right here. What the heck was that? Put him back up here. Go sleep, Sleepy Bear. We're all still there. I think I just saw eye shine. Go get him, Black Cat. There goes Gray Cat. No, that was Cloaky. Hello? Right in front of me, back there in the creek weeds. I thought I heard some kind of funky water noise a while ago. Whoop! I just heard a pop. Flower! I'm gonna turn the light back on. Right back there is where I filmed that one. It pecked on the window. Like I said, they run in twos or threes, it seems like. Because I had noises come from either side of me, sometimes more than two sides. One of them was up there, which the bush ain't there anymore. And the other one was standing down here. And they had a little teepee looking thing back in there. Maybe that's how they get the bugs quiet. They don't use infrasound, they just say, flower! Clokey. Was the one that tapped on the window. I don't think it was actually white. It might have looked white because of the spotlight was on it. You know, that's what we was talking about earlier. Like down further south you go, the more ornery they seem to get. Probably don't like y'all's cooking. Yeah, that's the cats down there. I'm gonna walk back up here, see if anything happens back there. Well, nobody's gonna get mad about the cooking deal. Figured at least catfish would get offended. Yeah, I'll be the crazy cat guy. But for real, whenever I first got Gray Cat, he wouldn't have nothing to do with me, about like the kittens are now. Until he was putting the trash can out. I mean, he won't leave my side now. I've heard they enjoy a bit of the old sweet feed. Man, I've got a mole running around. I put that there, by the way. Like I said, I'm watching a cat. However, there's a litter box, and that's why I don't understand people keeping cats inside the house because of litter boxes and such. But they didn't bring me a scooper, so I gotta use this old spoon. It doesn't do very good. Where you going, Black Kit? Yeah, I've heard they like the sweet feed, and I've heard salt blocks. And I mean, I've had salt blocks go missing, and I don't know if it's people might have got them, which I kind of doubt that's what it is, because there's not very many people that come on my property, because they know they'll get run off. But this looks like a handprint down there. But yeah, I've had salt blocks just go missing. And I started using the powder type. Oh, really? Mandatory to keep cats inside? I thought, don't y'all have like a mouse or rat problem there too? It's pretty wild, don't it? I mean, you introduce a species into an ecosystem and it messes everything up. Which cats are, I mean, they're top predators for their size, especially. Yeah, everything's got to have salt. Or what they do if you put out one of those blocks that has like all the nuts and stuff. I bet they'd like those. I think they've got molasses in them too. Might have to put one out for the deer. Good night, Robert. Well, guys, I guess I'm going to turn in also. I've got to work tomorrow. Fender bender. Yeah, I'll probably sit out here for another hour or so. If anything happens, then I'll go live. But it's kind of been a slow night. They're probably exhausted from last night. So again, if you haven't watched that video from last night, Sissy's went through and stamped at least the first hour, which was probably the most exciting part of it. It was full of activity, and then I went back and did a video, a follow-up video, which half of it was upside down for the Australians. So I took it down and went back and did it at night. I'll go back up there and film it all during the day. But I don't know when I'll do that because tomorrow's a busy day. So, anyways, y'all have a good night. Enjoy your Labor Day. All right, guys. Y'all have a good night. God bless.